This is exactly why the WNBA and USA Basketball and everybody else that's got access to Caitlin Clark should be trying to push her to the top of everything. Because do you know why we wanted to look at this last night? Because of Caitlin Clark.
A rising star's amazing talent has made the WNBA rethink its whole season setup, which is surprising. But why are they making such big changes to the upcoming season? WNBA teams won't include Fever games in half-season ticket packages because it would cost them too much money. The numbers show it. Caitlin Clark is becoming the face of the WNBA.
So, we know the Caitlin Clark effect is real. Obviously. It is incredibly obvious that it's real. But this might just sum it up more than anything else.
The WNBA has made a big decision that's getting a lot of attention. The Indiana Fever will not be part of the league's new ticket pricing strategy for the upcoming season.
You want to add a team to Miami? I don't think people understand the market. You don't add franchises when you're losing money, let alone if one of those places is Miami. We had a team for 3 years. They shut down because they played with black curtains around the arena. They were playing in front of 500
people. That goes back
people.
to the point of the pressure being on Caitlin because they're adding because they think that she's going to...
Why would you even consider Miami among the teams? People don't go...
This move might seem surprising at first, but it's actually driven by the Caitlin Clark effect. This rising star is already changing the WNBA strategies and showing just how powerful her impact is on the league.
Just a half-season ticket to receive access to add-on to Fever games. The Go has her own package. She literally has her own package. They could even sell out Gamebridge for day one of Fever camp. They 100% could. I'm sorry, they could sell out Gamebridge for day one of Fever's training camp. There's a 0% chance they could.
By leaving the Fever out of this ticketing strategy, the WNBA is making a bold move to take advantage of the huge buzz around Caitlin Clark. The goal is to boost profits and fan engagement like never before.
Saying the schedule and just being back to what I've called a normal life in the WNBA has been massive. But to quickly run through a couple of other things, and we're going to talk about Aaliyah Boston and Clark here momentarily, so I won't go too deep into that one. Their pairing has been fantastic.
Caitlin Clark's impact on basketball is clear. The young star, known for her amazing scoring, long-range shooting, and exciting performances, has won over basketball fans across the country. Her presence on the court grabs a lot of attention, and her games are now must-watch events.
Effect strikes again, this time catapulting the WNBA to levels they didn't think were possible if we only look back 2 years from now. Caitlin Clark has put the WNBA #1 on Morning Consult's fastest growing brands of 2020.
The WNBA, noticing Caitlin Clark's rising popularity, is eager to use her influence to increase the league's visibility and profits. By leaving the Indiana Fever out of the ticket package deal, which normally bundles games to encourage more fans to attend, the WNBA is making a smart move to focus its marketing on matchups that will bring in the most money. With Clark's team, the Iowa Hawkeyes, already having a huge fan base, the WNBA is hoping her jump to the professional league will keep that momentum going, drawing in bigger crowds and generating significant revenue.
Comes to town, we're going to be adding 10 times the price probably. You're probably looking at $300 tickets when Caitlin Clark comes to town.
By carefully pricing tickets and packaging games with Caitlin Clark, the WNBA can create a premium experience that taps into the excitement she brings. This strategy isn't just about making quick money, it's a long-term investment in the league's future, aiming to raise its profile and build a bigger fan base. The WNBA knows players like Caitlin Clark are rare, and their ability to attract crowds and media attention could change the league's path. Focusing on games featuring Clark's team lets the league highlight its most marketable star, boosting TV ratings, merchandise sales, and overall interest in women's basketball.
Washington Mystics owner Sheila Johnson goes on CNN and says that the entire WNBA should have been put on the cover of Time magazine. It is hard to get away from this conversation because it just keeps making national news. And to be frank, I've never seen a story in the WNBA get as much widespread coverage as this is getting. I honestly can't wait until the season's back in so we can get more about basketball.
On the flip side, leaving the Indiana Fever out of this strategy isn't a dig at the team, but rather a sign of the current market situation. The Fever are still rebuilding and developing their players, and they may not yet have the star power or fan appeal needed to compete with the excitement that Caitlin Clark's games are expected to bring. There's no denying Clark's impact, and the WNBA's decision shows just how much the league is relying on her to boost its image and financial standing. The WNBA is at a turning point, shifting towards more aggressive marketing and focusing more on star power to push the league forward. These bold moves highlight the growing recognition of women's sports as a profitable and exciting entertainment option. As fans eagerly await the season, the WNBA is poised to reach new heights by leveraging Clark's dynamic appeal, showing how strategic innovation and star power can transform professional women's basketball. There's also been talk that the league was initially nervous about making these big changes for the 2017 season, concerned that they might lead to losses.
Caitlin Clark effect. What does that mean to you?
What an incredible human being she is. Not only does she represent Iowa, but she represents women's basketball. She represents women's sports.
Despite initial concerns, the WNBA has introduced a new ticket packaging strategy to draw more fans, especially to games featuring powerhouse teams like the Chicago Sky and Las Vegas Aces. Fans can now buy a package that gives them access to 5 different games, including matchups with some of the league's most popular teams. By bundling these games together, the WNBA is making it easier for casual fans to get involved while offering loyal fans a more affordable option. This strategy seems to be a response to the growing interest in the league, partly thanks to players like Caitlin Clark, whose electrifying performances have brought fresh excitement to the WNBA. The league seems confident that the increased exposure and the appeal of seeing multiple games for a discounted price will outweigh any financial risks tied to the package deals. One key benefit of this approach is the chance to fill more seats across different games, including those that might not usually attract large crowds.
AJ Wilson, the face of the league. I'm sorry, you don't need to purchase a 10-game package for the option to watch AJ Wilson play basketball. You don't.
This move could also boost secondary spending on things like concessions, merchandise, and other in-arena activities, which could help make up for any initial revenue loss from discounted tickets. By increasing attendance, the league could see a significant rise in these additional revenue streams. Despite early concerns about financial risk, the WNBA's decision to go ahead with this ticket packaging strategy shows a forward-thinking approach to growing the sport. It's a calculated gamble that reflects the league's confidence in its direction and the rising popularity of its stars. Including games with teams like the Chicago Sky and Las Vegas Aces ensures the package offers high entertainment value, making it an attractive option for both new and long-time fans.
An iconic figure like a Michael Jordan, like a Tiger Woods, like a Serena Williams. Nike just invested in her $28 million, which I think should be way more.
To be able to carry the pressure of always being on, always being ready, always having to say the right thing, and making sure that like you're as delicate as possible, trying to come across as like not only a great person, but the great athlete that she is. She also carries herself on the basketball.
By leveraging the popularity of teams like the Sky and the Aces and offering fans the chance to see multiple games at a discounted rate, the WNBA is setting itself up for long-term growth and greater visibility in the sports world. The league's recent decision to make major changes to the upcoming season, influenced by Caitlin Clark's electrifying impact, has caused a stir. What's even more telling is the Indiana Fever's exclusion from these changes, highlighting just how high the demand is to watch Clark play.
Owners, investors, a lot of whom own WNBA franchises. For example, the Indiana Pacers, or the owner owns the Indiana Fever, okay, and that is running throughout the league. Well, even with the Caitlin Clark uptick in business, and it was significant, it did not matter. The WNBA is set to lose $40 million this season for this prior season.
This decision shows just how much Caitlin Clark's influence has gone beyond her own team, even outshining other stars like Reese and Aisha Wilson. The message is clear: fans are more excited to watch Clark than any other player or team. Her rapid rise to stardom has been incredible, with her unmatched skills, thrilling plays, and magnetic presence captivating fans across the country. The buzz surrounding her return is so strong that it's overshadowing the usual attention given to other top players and teams. The fact that the Indiana Fever, a team with its own history and fan base, wasn't included in these changes highlights just how unique Clark's appeal is in the league.
Growth is happening so fast. It's so accelerated. And I've been saying this in our own organization, that business as usual isn't going to work anymore. You're going to get left behind. Certainly, Caitlin's first game, they were going to value. I'm all for that. I get it.
Angel Reese is a strong presence on the court, and while she's made a big impact, her presence doesn't ignite the same level of excitement among fans. Similarly, Aisha Wilson is respected and admired for her skills, but she doesn't generate the same widespread, almost frenzied excitement that Caitlin Clark does. Clark brings something special, an intangible quality that goes beyond her athletic performance and makes her a cultural phenomenon. The decision to leave the Indiana Fever out of the WNBA's new plans emphasizes this point. It's a strategic move that recognizes Clark's superior marketability and the unmatched excitement she brings. The Fever's exclusion isn't about their shortcomings but about the overwhelming demand to center the season around players who can drive viewership and fill arenas. With Clark leading the way, the WNBA's decision reflects her extraordinary influence. Her ability to captivate fans surpasses that of her peers, making her the central figure in the league's strategy to grow its fanbase and boost ticket sales. Clark's star power isn't just changing the game, it's setting a new standard for what it means to be a game changer in professional basketball.
Caitlin Clark is a hell of a lot better than Angel Reese. Nobody ever said Ben Wallace could give Michael Jordan a run for his...
Recently, A'ja Wilson, one of the WNBA's biggest stars, sparked an interesting debate about who truly dominates women's basketball. By raising her speaking engagement fee by $10,000 more than Caitlin Clark, Wilson seemed to make a bold statement, positioning herself as the MVP, the player people are most eager to hear from. However, the WNBA's decision to make significant changes to its upcoming season tells a different story, one that places Caitlin Clark at the heart of the league's rising star power. While Wilson's dominance on the court is unquestionable, her decision to charge more for her speaking engagements appears to be a strategic move to emphasize her status. But the league's decision to shape its new season around Clark's explosive popularity and unique playing style clearly shows that the WNBA sees its future aligning more with Clark's growing influence than Wilson's established presence.
Involving Caitlin Clark again. Well, now this week, she's talking about, she's charging $100K for speaking events, and fans is like, Shrek? Since when? And you only doing this because of Caitlin. Now, we know news broke last week about the Unrivaled, about A'ja Wilson and Caitlin Clark both not taking part in this league. Caitlin gave her own reasons, being that she wanted to focus more on golf. She had a long season this past year, and she's just going to sit this off season now. A'ja Wilson really didn't say too much about her not wanting to do it, besides she just wanted to not play basketball.
While A'ja Wilson's contributions to the WNBA are undeniable and her legacy is secure, the league's recent adjustments signal a shift toward a new reality. Caitlin Clark is emerging as the player driving the next wave of popularity in women's basketball. The WNBA's strategic changes clearly show that Clark's star power isn't just a temporary phenomenon, but a key part of the league's growth strategy. This shift not only challenges Wilson's established story but also highlights Clark's rising status as the league's most marketable and captivating player. The excitement around Clark is palpable, with fans eagerly anticipating her return to the court this season. It's not just her extraordinary talent that's drawing attention, but the fact that she'll return rested and coached by Stephanie White, an expert in the game. Last season, Clark consistently wowed fans with game-changing plays and jaw-dropping moments. After a tough season that took its toll, the need for rest was clear. Adding to the excitement is the arrival of White as head coach of the Indiana Fever. With her wealth of experience as both a former player and coach, White is the perfect mentor for a rising star like Clark, bringing a deep understanding of the game and a strong connection with players.
I'm on record as saying Caitlin Clark is going to be an excellent WNBA player.
I agree.
Right away.
Mm-hmm.
Right away going to be a star, in my view. When you go back and you look historically, the players at the level that I believe Caitlin Clark is at, whether they are guards or bigs, they have come in and been all-stars.